Hey, Shalom, Mashallah. And this stuff is about giving no praise to Yahweh Hashem, El Shaddai, Hashem, Kodash. That belongs to the apostles of GMS and honors to brothers doing the work in truth, with sincerity. This is it's a quick one on something that I've spoken about at the camp before a couple of times. It's basically I keep seeing it because I don't really watch a lot of TV. But the one of the shows I do watch is Arrow, right? So DC's Arrow, which I believe plays on the CW over there in the States, right? But in this season, and I remember the elder brother from our camp, elder brother Car, he was basically pointing it out how in TV what you see a lot is kids just being bastards, right? And then the whole parent-child a relationship is all messed up, right? And that is something that is visible in this show called Arrow, right? And you become privy to it and you're like, oh shit. So basically in this most recent series, basically the children are just bastards. They're ass holes, right? And what you see in there is what do you call it? You see the parents apologizing to the children and all of that, and the parents ain't even done anything wrong. The parents are just being parents. Like, look, man, you gonna do what I say. Things like, oh, I should have asked you what you wanted to do. Nah, you're under my roof. You do as I say, right? Until you find your wife, you marry your wife, and you leave house. Right, so Scripture says in Genesis 3, man shall, what do you call it? Shall join unto a wife, and he shall leave his house, start his own thing, right? Whatever, what have you. But even after that, you still got to honor your father and mother, which is what the Scripture says. This Exodus 20:12. It says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee. Right, so you're supposed to honor your mother and father, man. Right, but in this kingdom, these children are taught the opposite. Right, they're taught that they're autonomous being. Fuck you, mom, and all of that. Right, and who can you thank for that? Esau, the so-called white man. The one who's in power at the moment, the wicked. Right. In fact, let me this is Job 9:24. Right, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Where and who is he? Right, so that last bit is the Lord, being facetious, having a laugh, almost. Right, he's saying, look, man, if who is it? If it ain't Esau, the so-called white man, who is it? Right. It says, so the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and read Malachi 1:4. It outlines who the wicked are. Right, but this whole thing about just disrespecting parents, that's one of his agendas, right? When you disrespect your parents, you don't follow what it is that they say. You don't believe what they say is for your best interest, right? Which is why it said what it says there in Exodus. Says that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee. Right, so you dishonoring what's one of the things. For instance, the scriptures talk about. In fact, let me grab that. Right, shame. Right. So it says, Sirach 26:10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. Right, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Right, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Right, so hey, you have a daughter or whatever. In fact, it goes on to say this: that she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler, right? And when he hath found a fountain, and drink every water near her. Basically being a hoe, sucking every Dick, Tom, and Harry, right? By every hedge she'll sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Right, so this is nice and poetic, basically, to say she'll be a fucking slut, right? She'll be a slut, and then she'll bring dishonor to you, right? But especially in this day, you being a slut, doing all of that shit, catching all types of diseases, and that's why. But the thing is, if your parents are then you're taught to honor your parents will be like, look, man, don't be doing this. We've got a husband, lined up for you, whatever, what have you. But once again, that's one of those things that Esau says is wicked. My parents choosing husbands, but ultimately, once again, parents know best, right? The parents know best. They know what's best for the child, but Esau makes it seem like that's not so, right? But that's why, people haven't got that fear and that love for their parents, right? This is Sirach 3 from the top. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. Yeah, once again, you honor your parents. Your parents say, look, don't go somewhere, right? If you honor them and fear them, guess what? You ain't gonna go somewhere, right? You're gonna be like, you know what? They probably know what they're talking. Well, no, they know what they're talking about, and that's that thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. In Esau's world, it's that my parents probably don't know what they're talking about, or you question everything because you haven't got that on, you haven't got that respect, right? That's not something that's been taught to you, right? It says, and do thereafter that ye may be safe, right? For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, and hath confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honoureth his father maketh atonement for sins, right? It says, and he that honoureth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Whoso honoureth his father shall have joy of his own children. Yeah, imagine that. Here it is, you was a bastard child, and then now you're getting pissed because your children are bastards, right? You see that, you be walking around, you see how these Edomites be dealing with their children. They usually fuck you, mom, and then what? The mom just replies, that's not a way to talk to your mother, Timmy, right? That's completely out of order, man. Right, the scriptures talk about if you have a disrespectful son, right, a lazy son even. Or if you have a lazy son, he was supposed to be brought before the elders and beat, right? Right, and whoa, no. If you have I was going off. Right, if you have a lazy son, he ain't want to do anything, right? Hey, he was supposed to be brought before the priest, and if the priest deemed, he was supposed to be put to death, not even just beat. He was supposed to be stoned to death, right? It says, whoso honoureth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honoureth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth the Lord will honour his father, and will do service unto his parents and to his masters. Honour thy father and thy mother, both in word and deed, right? That a blessing may come upon thee from them. Right? Hey, you look at Jacob, for instance, right? His mother was like, look, man, this little nigga Esau, he's looking for blood. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna dip down to what was it, her brother, right, to Laban's area. Right, and then, but that was all part of the law. But if he didn't honour that, if he was like, fuck you, mom, I'm going to stay right here. Right, I'm going to do what I want to do. Right? One, he would have never met his wife, like Rachel and Leah, and, obviously the two concubines, right? He wouldn't have had the experience that he had while he was there with Laban, being increased, whatever, what have you, right? The whole story would have been different, right? Esau might have actually even killed him, because what Esau is Cain, right? If you can receive it, and what did Cain do to his brother the first time round? He killed his brother, right? It says, honour thy father and thy mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation. Right, glory not in the dishonour of thy father, for thy father's dishonour is no glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honour of his father, and the mother is in dishonour is a reproach to the children. Right, so that's basically the point on that one, right? Yeah, and so it's what I'm bringing up. It's these age-old, basic scriptures, man. Because the basics are the basics are the basics, and they're the ones that, you know, you think about most of the time, right? Which is Habakkuk 2:15 says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink," and that drink is philosophies, right? One of the philosophies that have been pushed on the people is that you ain't got to honor your parents, right? You know, you can just be disrespectful to them, and honoring your parents, that's grandparents, great grandparents, right? And furthermore, in this truth as well, right? Because who are our parents in this truth? Right? The apostles of GMS, because they take watch over our souls. You know, they care if, you know, if they hear, oh, that brother, you know, got into something. Hey, well, you know, hey, maybe you'll send up the prayers or whatever. Right? They take care of the flocks, man. Right? They care about the brethren. All right. It says that puttest thou bottle to him and makes them drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Right? So, you know, the point I wanted to get from there is a philosophy that's been pushed on the people to be assholes, right? Yeah, but that's all I had on that, man. You know, hey, honor that mother and that father. Now, obviously, you know, you read what Yahweh Shah said when he was like, look, man, hey, if you don't hate your mother, if you don't hate your father, if you don't hate, you know, the world or whatever, right? Then you might take that you think that Yahweh Shah is giving you license to be an asshole to your parents. No, that's not what that's talking about. Right? You're supposed to honor your father and mother, but you got to understand what comes first. Right? You got to understand that this word and this truth comes first. This is the primary thing, right? Everything else comes secondary to this, right? Hey, because guess what? You get what do you call it? You get what is this? My mind blanked up. But hey, if basically your parents start coming up against the truth, then you be like, nah, I ain't down with that. I'm not gonna do that, right? You know, because for instance, women have womanly wiles, right? You know, she might be like, oh, baby, just take the chip, otherwise they're gonna kill you, baby, right? But if she's taking the chip, then hey, you know what the judgment is, right? So the scripture says, love not the world. Right, because when you love the world, you entangle the world. You start, you start making decisions that ain't meet for what you have to do, right? So your thing is supposed to be what the Lord wants me to do, right? And I'm gonna do that, right? When you have love of the world, you start having conflicts of interest, right? You know, you see that in every superhero movie where they'll be like, oh, you know, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. No, I don't want to, you know, I didn't want to tell you because as soon as I tell you, or I kept you out of my life, because now that you're in my life, you're now also a target, right? Basically now he's compromised, right? But yeah, I believe I've hit the point on that one, and till the next time, I'm gonna say, should have won.